I'm Waxela Sananda. Thank you for joining me today. I get to talk to you today about currency. And currency can be in the form of money. It can be in the form of cryptocurrency. It can be any exchange, energetic exchange of goods and services. But typically, we're thinking of forms of financial currency. And there's a really powerful point that I want to talk about today. And I know the climate in the world is a little touchy for a lot of people around finances. Some people's, their jobs have been on the line, jobs have been restructured over the last 20 months. And a lot of people are experiencing a significant change in the flow of their currency. And so, something that I think is really important to consider when you're thinking about how it works with your currency. We have been given this story, fed this narrative since birth. If you believe in many lifetimes, many of us have been fed this story for a number of incarnations. And the story is that you get to look at your bank account or what your holdings are financially to decide what kind of life that you get to live, to decide where you get to go, where you get to live, what type of vacations you get to have, what sort of recreational activities, and things like that. And I'm sure you can understand, catch my drift in the current. We allow ourselves to be guided by money, by currency. And it's kind of like, being caught in the flow of the river and just going downstream willy-nilly wherever it leads, and not really having any control of where we're going or how we're getting there. And sometimes, there might be rapids where we feel like we're drowning. And that's not the best way to travel. And that's not the best use of currency, which is energy. Money is energy. And there's nothing negative or bad or wrong with what money is. It is simply a way to exchange with people for things, right? And we need some method to exchange with people for things, because if I'm a farmer and I grow broccoli and the person over here grows chickens, well, this person has chickens and that person has broccoli. Maybe the person with the chickens doesn't like broccoli and the person with the broccoli doesn't eat chickens or need eggs. I don't know. Just an example. But the thing is, we need something better than chickens and broccoli to trade. And so money happens, and that is currency. And what has happened with the story around money is where we've really gotten tripped up in this conversation. So, and for those people that are like, hey, spiritual people aren't supposed to talk about money, that is a block in itself. If you're somebody who's saying that, then take a look at your own life. Do you have the life that you desire? Have you been creative and able to create a life of abundance and flow? Because my guess is no, because you're speaking a block around currency, and you're speaking a block around energy. When you say something like that, and when you believe something like that, you'll create it. It will be evidently an evidence of a block in your ability to manifest your life. And so here's how I see it. God, the universe, creator, spirit, divine, put us here and gave us this creative capacity. And we are infinitely creative beings. And we came up as human beings, we came up with currencies for exchange. And then we created boundaries and rules around how we can use that currency. And what you're going to see if you look around at people who are extremely, extremely wealthy, yes, some of them were born into it, some of it was handed down. And that's also a conversation that's been handed generation to generation. So aside from those people, there are so many entrepreneurs, so many people who have made their lives work and have made this incredible, bountiful, wealthy life from the ground up, not from inherited money, but from creating their own story around money. And what happens is if you don't be a leader of the currency, if you don't lead your money, money will lead you. And what I mean by that is if you don't take charge of it, if you don't put it to work, if you don't put it to flow, if you don't allow money to create for you, then money will dictate what you get to do. And it's not actually money doing it, it's you giving your power away to the currency in your bank account. You looking at your bank account and saying, oh, there's only this much there, therefore my life is going to be skimpy, this week, this month, this year. And that is not best use of our creative energy. Best use of our creative energy is to look at your spirit, to look at your inspiration, to look at your personal flow of energy and decide, what do I want to do and create with my God-given gifts and talents? And look at what you love to do. Look at what you want to do. Where do you want to live? What type of life experience do you want to have? There is a way for you to do that, to live that lifestyle, to have that, whatever that is that you desire, especially when you're creating from your talents, your gifts, and your service. So, I mean, I'm a perfect example of this. I spent 30 years on my spiritual path. This is what I was doing, no matter what I was doing in my business life, no matter what I was doing for money along the way. I was always doing my spiritual work. I was always sharing with others about my spiritual work. I was always meditating and channeling and, doing all these things that I teach now. And at some point, I realized, this doesn't have to just be my side thing. This could be the thing that I do, because these are the gifts and the talents that I've been given. And people respond when I share these things. And it feels like my personal mission and service to share this. And so I decided to make this work my business. This is my day job. I don't have another day job. This is what I do. And, I got the business training that I needed to be able to do that. But what it took for me to do that is not to just look at my life and say, okay, I invested deeply in training that I needed to get so that I could do this type of work. I didn't just know how to create summits and do the back end of all of the stuff that's involved in the business that I have now. I got coaching for that, and I got training for that, and I invested a lot in that coaching and training so that I could learn and have the tools that I needed to do this work. But what I did is I put the currency to work for me. And just so you know, I did not, when I first invested in that training, I did not have the money in my bank account. I had the deposit. I put a deposit down, and then I made monthly payments. Best investment I ever made, because it led me to understand how the backside works of this type of business. And I would never have known that if I didn't have that training. But I invested, and then I trusted that I would be able to make it happen. And so what I did, I didn't just invest it and then pray and say, okay, send me a winning lottery ticket. Although I know that some people have had success with that. That's never been my way of creating. Not that I've never bought lottery tickets. I just have never won the jackpot. I maybe won $20 a few times. Anyway, if you can do that, great. I'm not trying to shut that down. That just isn't maybe the most likely way to have the universe provide for you. So what I did, I invested and then I implemented what I learned. And then I watched and expected opportunities to show up. I watched and was open to receiving through collaborations, through like allowing doors to open for me that previously I wasn't even aware that there might be a door to open there, So this is a realignment and a reattunement of my mindset to prosperity consciousness. So wherever I found myself having lack conscious thoughts, like, oh, there won't be enough, or how will I pay for that? Or, I can't have that because it would cost too much, or any of those programs, I'm still aware of those programs. I still catch myself with those rehearsing those old types of thoughts. And then I get to clear those thoughts and put in new thoughts. How can I have that? How can I create that? How can I be open to receiving that? How can the universe provide that opportunity for me? And this is how we get creative with currency, because currency is flow. And when you're in flow, you can sync up with the flow of currency. For me, a key piece of it is to have an open heart, to tune into your heart, to listen to intuitive guidance, to take action on the things that come your way. It's not just about sitting back and doing nothing. You get to take inspired action. And when you look at what is it that moves me, what is it that just rocks my world, that makes my heart sing when I do it, what would I do anyway? If I could do anything in the world, what would I do with my energy and my time? What would I invest that in? And then write out these things, make a list of the things that you love doing the most. I literally just talked to a woman on the phone who loves nature, who loves celebrating nature. And she said, I think my purpose is to be a celebrator of nature and to share that with the world. And I'm like, that's brilliant. I love that, especially right now where people have been inside in front of technology so much and separated from other people, maybe separated from nature in many situations, to bring back the love and joy and connection and celebrate nature. That's what she loves to do. And she lives on a nature reserve. So why not? And then how can you create an offering to invite people into your unique world and make it valuable to people so that it's something that they desire to step into with you? And if it's valuable to people and it's something that they desire to be a part of, they will invest in it. And then you get to not only be supported for doing what you love, you get to teach people and share what you love doing and teaching and sharing with others and create community around that. So that's just one example that I found really fun and inspiring, but there are no limits. We're all so unique and we're all creative. And I know that within each of us are these amazing talents and gifts and inspirations. So I invite you today to look at what makes you a unicorn. What makes you so unique and special and different from everyone else? And what is it that you love that just lights you up when you do, whenever you practice it or do whatever that thing is, and it makes your heart sing? How can you take that and create a lifestyle out of it and make an offering to invite others to participate with you? And how can you allow the universe to support you through other people, through your services, through what you have to offer, and invite them into your container, your community, and contribute to them from your unique, personal, special gifts. And this is how you get the flow to be sort of under your boat. This is how you build that life raft for yourself, and you get in the life raft and you float down the river in the life raft. This is a much better way to travel. And then maybe you have oars, or maybe you even have a motor on your boat. And so instead of being bounced around by the waves and the currents, you actually get to choose where you go and when you get there, and where you bank and dock, and you're not drowning in it. And so, excuse my analogies, but I think it's appropriate in the world of currency. The currency is going to flow. How you flow with it is up to you. And are you allowing yourself to be at effect of the flow, like drowning in the river? Or are you building a life raft from your personal, unique gift, talents, and inspirations, and offering that out and allowing the universe to support you? And that is you in your boat, cruising down the river at your own speed, your own timing, enjoying the sights along the way, and really being a contribution of your purpose work, a contribution of your service work to the world, and allowing the universe to support you in that. I hope this is helpful. I hope that it lands in a way that inspires you to create from the infinite flow of abundance that's all around us all the time. I am sending you prosperous wishes for creating a life of your choosing, a life that you love, the life that you're here to live and share. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel if this is valuable to you. I love you. I appreciate you. Namaste.